You know how uncomfortable it feels when you can't move your legs? Like, I need to know that these legs will end up moving at the end of. Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I'm going to be doing this story time. Is it story time or like my delivery story anyway? And this is something that I've been wanting to do for so long. When I gave birth to my baby, I asked on Insta story if anybody was interested in hearing my delivery story, which even if you're not interested, I will still tell you because the story is just different and just dramatic. If you don't know, if you're on my channel for the first time, my name is Chichi. I don't know if you're hearing Kiki. I have a problem with CH. My name is Kiki and I am a mom of 3 girls. I have a 6-year-old, she'll be 6 this weekend. I have a 1 year and about 7 months old, and then I have an almost 3-month-old baby. I'm going to be telling you guys about my experience, my CS experience in Nigeria. Take note, it might be different depending on the hospital you had your child, depending on the country you had your child, depending on the doctor who delivered you, but this is just my story. So I hope you guys enjoy it. If you're new, please don't forget to subscribe, give the video a thumbs up if you are enjoying it, and leave me a comment. Let me know whatever you think. With my first and second children, I had a vaginal delivery. I don't like to call it normal delivery, which a lot of people call it, but I feel like once your baby is brought out of you, it's a normal delivery. Like even if your baby comes out from your mouth, it's normal delivery. Most important thing is that baby is healthy, mommy is healthy, and everybody's happy. So I had my first 2 babies via vaginal delivery, and I of course thought I was going to have my 3rd baby via vaginal delivery, but things just didn't turn out that way. So with Grace, I didn't have any issues at all. That was my first pregnancy. It was very easy, it was very smooth. With my second pregnancy, I started having high blood pressure, and I heard it had something to do with the placenta. So all through my second pregnancy, when I was about 5 months gone, I was placed on I think they call it amidopine. So I was placed on high blood pressure medicines and vasoprene and all that. So that was how I took those meds until I gave birth. And usually once I have my babies, my blood pressure just goes back to normal. In my 3rd pregnancy, I read that it could be, it could change. You might still experience the same thing or you might not. So I was eager to see what was going to happen. When I started going for my antenatal, I realized that my blood pressure was going up like it did in the second pregnancy. So, I was placed on high blood pressure meds once again. So when it got, my 3rd pregnancy was a bit difficult because I had other children to take care of and I wasn't expecting it. Everything just happened like that. Towards the end of my pregnancy, I had gone past 36 weeks. I was about 38 weeks or so. I was due for a scan. When I went for my scan, my doctor told me that the baby's heartbeat was not doing well, wasn't looking good. So they had to observe me for about 24 hours. So I was in the hospital in the afternoon and I had to stay back till evening because I told them I needed to go home. I didn't plan it. My children were going to go to school the next morning, so I needed to go home and put things in place. So I went home, you guys, and I just crossed my fingers and hoped for the best. I probably took a risk, but I don't know. I think I just listened to my guts, or just my instincts. I don't know. I just went home. I had to go home. I told them I was going to come the next day so that they could fully observe me for the long stretch of 24 hours. I actually have a family member that is opposite my hospital. I use a Catholic hospital, so I prepped them, packed their things. There was nothing, we didn't bother with school the next day. I packed their things and I was supposed to take them to my parents' house, but I was like, if I stay the whole 24 hours and everything is fine, then we'll all just come home. But if I'm going to have to give birth from then my husband will take them to my parents' house. So we packed their bags, I packed my hospital bag and everything, and then we went straight to the hospital. When I got there, they asked me to lie down and I was there. They were coming to check regularly. Every 30 minutes they would check the baby's heartbeat, and after checking, they said it was still very inconsistent. Sometimes it would be normal, sometimes it would be abnormal, sometimes it would be very low, sometimes it would be normal. So I had to explain to them that in my second pregnancy we had a similar case. When I was about to give birth, Ella's heartbeat was going down. They call it bradycardia. So Ella's heartbeat was going down, and I was just lucky. They were almost scheduling me for a cesarean section, but I was just so lucky she came out before they could do that. So I explained to them and I told them I've experienced this before, and this is how it went. So the doctors kept telling me that they think I should go for an elective CS. And you guys, when I heard CS, I was like, my head was like, me, CS, like, it's not like it's a big deal. Before your baby comes, you know if you're going to have a cesarean section or a vaginal delivery or a doula, or you know a midwife comes to your house, or like water birth. You already have your plans. So my plan was to have the baby via vaginal delivery. That was the whole plan. So when they mentioned it to me, I was like, I can't tell you guys how I felt, because I was like, surgery, like my head was just ringing. I didn't know what to do, and I told them I needed to go upstairs, that I had a family upstairs, so I need to go upstairs, I need to think about it, I need to call my husband, and I need to make a few calls. So I went upstairs, and you guys, I just sat down and I was just like, oh my god, like, this is really happening. They are telling me it's either I do an elective cesarean section, or like, I went down almost 4 times. I went back again to ask the doctor. I was like, are you saying that I don't have any other choice? She was like, this is the best bet, except you want to wait till next, I think it was a weekend. It was the weekend, yes. So she said, except I wanted to wait till Monday, where I would see the MD, and the MD would then send me to a lab, and in the lab that there's a test they can run to really get the heartbeat of the baby, to be sure if baby is fine or not. So I was like, I might even wait till Monday, and then the MD will end up telling me that I still need to have a cesarean section. I don't even want to waste my time. So I went back upstairs, and I was just thinking about it. I was like, what do I do? And I called my mom. My mom was like, my mom had 4 of us via cesarean section, so it's like, it's not a big deal for her. So she's like, just do the CS and forget about it. Just do it and forget about it. And I'm like, and I called my husband, and he was like, what do you think? Do you think it's okay? Think well, you know, let's pray, you know. So I was like, I was really confused. And another thing I thought of, I was like, if I ask them to induce me, they might induce me, and then I'll become so tired and so weak, and then I would have to be scheduled for a cesarean section. They asked me to come back and, you know, get back to them on if they should schedule me for the CS and all that. They also directed me to someone that was going to counsel me. I use a Catholic hospital. I don't know if I told you guys earlier on. So I went to meet the sister. Her name is Sister Grace, and she started explaining to me what it really was like, because I told her I had never had a cesarean section before, so I really need to know what everything was about. And she was like, it's no big deal, it's something that is done every time, that shouldn't be afraid. And I was like, it's just because it's very different, I've never done it before, that's why I really need to understand, you know, what it entails. She was done, she asked me to go and think about it and then get back to her, which I went up to think about, and I didn't come back down till evening, and was asked to see a doctor, which I did, and he still checked again and said it was normal. So it was a back and forth thing, it wasn't consistent at all, so that was the reason why they didn't want to take any risks. So finally, at about, they asked me to come in the evening so that they could watch me till the next day. At about 11 or so, I got a call from my mom, and she was like asking me why I'm wasting time. I should just sign the consent form, that CS wasn't anything, it was no big deal and all that. So I was like, my major problem with it is just the recovery. I hate anything that would keep me in one spot, or anything that would make me, you know, go about things very slowly. I just wasn't down for the whole thing. So when she called me and she told me that, I was like, okay, I'm still thinking about it. I just had my bath, and I was thinking of going down, you know, to the hospital. I then got a call from my aunt, who is a matron, and, you know, she was like, what am I doing there? Am I not supposed to be in the hospital? And I told her I was going down, and she said, I'm, you know, just risking my life and risking the life of my baby, that I should just go down and let the whole thing just be done with, you know. And I was like, okay, then I'm going down now. So the next thing I know, the next call that came into my phone was a call from a doctor in the hospital. And the doctor was like, someone just called their MD and told their MD that they abandoned me, that where have I been and all that. And I said, I'm coming down now. By the time I got down, I saw the doctor already waiting in the I think the labor ward. So he was like, someone called their MD and said they abandoned a patient called, you know, Kinyere. And I'm like, I don't know, I was really confused. I didn't know what happened. It was later on I realized that my mom called my aunt and my aunt called the MD of the hospital, and she then called one of the doctors on duty, and was telling them that there's a patient that they abandoned, that they hadn't scheduled for the cesarean section and all that. And in the actual sense, it was my fault because I hadn't told them if I wanted the cesarean section to be done or not. I stayed there till the next morning, and they were giving, I think they were checking like 3 hours interval or so, and they checked till the next morning. So in the morning around 6, they said I needed to freshen up and come back there because my surgery was going to be in the morning. I think this was on Sunday. I'm not too sure, I don't even remember. So they said I should go home, freshen up, and then come back. I went upstairs to my in-laws place, had my bath, and I just forgot, and I started playing with my children, and just talking and this thing. And then they started calling me, and they were like, your surgery is in 10 minutes, what are you doing upstairs? We need to prep you and all that. So you guys, I wasn't ready. I wasn't mentally ready, I wasn't physically ready, I was not prepared for it. So I went down, and then they started putting the lines in my hand, and then I took off my clothes. I wore the surgical robe, and then I went upstairs to to one of the wards. They put some drips, and then they wheeled me into the operation room. I laid down, or I sat down rather, and I met the MD with another doctor that's like my favorite doctor in the hospital. So I sat down, and then there was a guy behind me who is the anesthesiologist. I hope that's how they call it, anesthesiologist. So he asked me to arch my back, and so that you bend your back, and then I bent my back, and he said I'm going to feel like a slight like a prod, something like that, like a needle, from a big needle. You guys, at this point I was so scared because the room was a bit chilly. I think it turned off the AC, but it's still a bit chilly. And I've had surgery before, but that was about 3 years ago, and surgery is not a nice thing, it's not just nice. So I arched my back, and then I felt like a slight, you feel of a needle entering into my back. They are trying to numb you, for me to lie down, and I was directed on the position to lie in, and he said I'm going to start feeling a numbness down my legs. You guys, oh my god. At some point I was trying to move my legs, and I was like, okay, how is this thing going to go? And I was like shaking my legs, and it got to a point I couldn't move my legs. When I'm trying to move my legs, it was like I had the weight of the world on my legs, I couldn't move. Talking about it now, I feel like my heart is beating, my chest is literally beating, because when I had surgery the first time, it wasn't regional surgery, it wasn't regional anesthesia, it was general. So I just passed out, I didn't know what was going on. This time around I couldn't move my legs. Do you know how uncomfortable it feels when you can't move your legs? I couldn't do anything with my legs. So I was already lying down. MD is a reverend sister. She was like, I should pray, and I just said a very short prayer. In my mind I'm like, this prayer something is not what I'm ready for now. That wasn't my major issue. My issue was why can't I move my legs? Why do my legs feel like I have lead on them? So I said a short prayer, and they said amen, and then they started the surgery. So along the line, the anesthesiologist would check my blood pressure, and then also tell me what to expect, while they were operating on me. And they covered me up to my chest, or my bust area, so I couldn't really see what they were doing. I was only seeing their heads. So I was just imagining them with the scalpel just cutting through layers of skin, fats, all the way down. I was just really imagining it in my head because I watch a lot of shows like that. So I was just imagining, you guys. This time my surgery bypassed it, so I was really looking at the time, and it got to a point that he told me that when the baby comes out, I will feel a slight pull, so I shouldn't be scared, or I shouldn't feel anything has gone wrong. So when they pulled baby out, I felt that slight, I really can't feel anything down, but I felt like a slight tug, they usually cut, the incision is not that big, so it's like when you're pulling something out of something bigger than, you're pulling something way bigger than the incision you make, you would feel that expansion of your skin opening up. So I felt it, and then I saw them carry her, and I was like, oh my god, thank you Jesus, I'm so happy. Could it be a boy? I wasn't sure, but I noticed that she had a full head of hair like all my children always do, but hers was just exceptional. It was so full, and I was like, I just need someone to just say her or him just so that I'm sure. I think they brought her out. They said like 10 past 8. They brought her out by like 8:30, and then they started stitching me up. And already I had read about, how cesarean sections work, so I had an idea of what they were doing. So I learned that after they bring out baby, they then start to stitch you up gently, just to make sure that they get everything right. So that gradual stitching went on till about to 9, almost 9 o'clock. So when they were done, they cleaned me up, and then they moved me to another I don't know what that their bed is called, the one that rolls. So they moved me to that one, and then they wheeled me in. So while I was there, the sister that cancelled me came in, and I was like, she was like, your baby's so beautiful, she has so much hair. And I was like, okay, it's a girl. She's like, she has so much hair, she's so pretty. Do you have hair in your family? I'm like, yes, my mom, they have long hair, but it's not full. Like, they have long but kind of scanty hair. But my dad's area, they have very full, very full hair. So she's like, she's so beautiful, congrats and all that. So they were wheeling me. You guys, my legs were numb. My legs felt so fat. I felt like I had become so obese because I was trying to move them, but they weren't moving. When they took me to the ward, they laid me down. They asked me not to move my head. Like, I shouldn't move left, I shouldn't move right. I should just keep my head in one place. I was lying down, you guys, and it was crazy because I would always try to wriggle my toes and they weren't moving. And I asked them, I was like, how long will I stay like this? They said 3 to 4 hours. You guys, you know how, I don't know how to explain this. It's like, I felt like a machine that needed oiling. Let me put it that way. I felt like a machine that was getting rusty from just being stuck in one place and not being used at all. That's how I felt. I felt like someone needed to move me. At some point, I just called the attention of one of the doctors at first. I was like, please, can you touch my legs? Like, I need to want to lift my legs. Like, I need to know that these legs will end up moving at the end of the day. And the guy was like, you need to calm down, take it easy. They would move, but just give it some time. So luckily for me, my sister came a few hours later to see me, and I was like, I need you to just pull my toes, like just pull my toes. So I was like, just pull all of them. And she was pulling them and I wasn't feeling anything, but I was like, I still feel better now that you're just touching them. Just pull them, touch them for me. And she did. I was like, touch my feet, like touch my thighs, just do that for me. And my sister did that. It took about 6 hours. It took about 6 hours before I started moving the lower part of my leg. It started from my toes. I could wriggle my toes, and then later on I could move like my ankle, and then later on was like my calf area, and then before I started moving my thighs. When I started moving my thighs, I was so happy because I was just like, you guys, I was just moving the thighs like anyhow, and I was like, how do people that have spinal cord injuries, how do they survive? Because it must be so difficult for them. So after, I think the next day, I was moved downstairs to the main ward where other women were, and it was so difficult rolling in bed. I couldn't move to my side. That first day I did see my baby. I think it was the second day they brought her to me, and I breastfed her, and yeah, I always have milk coming out ever ready. So she breastfed, and I was asked not to eat. I think I had Lipton, and I asked them if I could take milk, and they said no, but I couldn't take the Lipton like that, so I put some milk in it. And then the next day, I think I had pap and akara. I don't think I was supposed to eat akara, but I had akara with pap. They were like very small akara. The next meal was rice and I think pepper soup also. But the recovery was horrible. Recovery is always horrible. That is why I would say if I have to choose, I can't say I would choose cesarean section over a vaginal delivery because they both have issues. The thing is that the vaginal delivery is, the wahala is right there at that moment, right there, and once it starts and it stops, that's it, you forget about it. But with the cesarean section, you're kind of calm, you know, giving birth, but then you feel the pain afterwards. I got home, everything was so sluggish, so slow. I get up and then I stop and I have to bend because I'm in pain, and I'm not able to take care of my children the way I want to. Middle of the night, sometimes I won't be able to turn in bed, and I have to ask my husband to like lift me to turn, and it just really gets worse when you get home, I think, because things are a bit different, plus you are tempted to do a lot more things when you get home. So if I'm asked to choose cesarean section, the vaginal delivery, I don't know. I really don't know which I would choose. So I think the best thing would be have a vaginal delivery but have an epidural. So that's like your best bet. But you have to now keep cleaning your scar, your incision site. You clean it with cotton wool and methylated spirit. After a while, you go back to the hospital. They will take off the plaster and then take off the stitches, and it's painful. You have to now clean that area, and it's also very, very painful when you are cleaning it, and you might be tempted not to clean it properly because of the pain. But if you don't clean it properly, it can get infected. And when I got home, I still got migraines, and I had like this bad waist pain. It was so bad. Like, I would literally tell Grace to stand on my back. It hurt me so bad. But for the last month or like 2 months, I've not felt anything, no pain, no headache. And I heard that some people have like after effects, after pains from cesarean sections. They get like headaches all through their lives. They get back pains, but so far I'm not getting any of that, and I'm just hoping it stays that way. I've done it, and you know, it's over. You know, the scar is there, but you know, it doesn't really matter. I can see my baby. I think she was even crying like not too long ago, so I'm going to have to go and carry her and breastfeed her. So if you watch this video to the end, don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Give it a huge thumbs up.